Hey, in this video we'll cover the basics on how to use the Event Manager, how to configure events, join an event, subscribing or unsubscribing to an event, etc. For that, we're going to use this game as an example. It's a very basic game where mouses spawn randomly and trying to attack the cat, so you. And you have to avoid their attacks and ultimately defeat them. As we can see, this game has pretty much everything working, but if you pay attention, when mouses attack me, my health bar isn't really updating at all. It's not showing how much HP I have left, and that is what we're going to do here. But how can EventManager help us do that? EventManager is a tool that will help us to notify key events to our game logic elements. So we can use it to throw an event every time my character is hurt, informing how much damage I received. Then we subscribe our health bar to that event so that every time I throw this event, our health bar will update its value. This is great because otherwise we will have to put a reference to the player in the health bar's logic, and then in the update method we will update the value to our actual HP's value. But the problem with this is that it's not really efficient. We will have to execute this piece of code every frame, and maybe for this thing alone might not be that bad, but when we put this together with the rest of processes that were running every frame on the game, well, it might. So let's go ahead and start configuring our event. For that, we first need to open the configuration window by clicking on KennethDevelops, EventManager config. Here we can see we already have 3 events fully configured and already implemented in the game. Now, to add a new event, we simply press the plus event button. Also, to remove an event, we press the minus button on the right side of the event we want to remove. We will call our event onPlayer took damage, and we also need to notify the health bar how much damage it took. For that, we add a parameter by simply pressing the button plus parameter. Same as before, to remove a parameter you just press the button minus on the right side of the parameter you want to remove. As you can see, parameters can hold many value types: bool, int, float, string, GameObject, and custom. Custom being any other type, like a vector tree, a quaternion, or even a script that you created. For this case, we need an int type, and we will call this parameter damage. Also, here you can see that we can set the default value for a parameter. This will change the value the parameter has if the parameter's value isn't set at the time we trigger this event. In this case, we don't really need to use this, so we'll just leave it at 0. Finally, we press the button Save Changes to actually save a new event. Okay, so we have properly configured our new event. Now to our code. As you can see, in my player class I have all pretty much done, and I have a method that will be called every time our player receives damage. Perfect for our event to be triggered. First, we need to import the EventManager's namespace, which the writer ID does automatically anyway, but I'm telling you in case you're working on Visual Studio or any other ID that doesn't. So to trigger an event, we simply go and type new defined event, and we pass as a parameter our event ID onPlayer took damage. We already said we needed the health bar to know how much damage the player took, and so we added a parameter to give it that information, but we are not setting anything here. If we keep it as it is, the parameter damage will be sent with its default value. But we need to specify the damage each time, otherwise the help bar won't know what value to display now. So, to do that, we call the method setInParameter. And we pass the parameter ID damage, and now the value, which the method we are in provides us damage. And there we go. But as you know, int is not the only type of parameter there is. You could set a bool type, float, string, GameObject, and custom type, where you can pass any type of value that you want, even a value that you made yourself. For example, you can see that I can pass a quaternion, or a vector tree, or even the player itself. You can have multiple parameters of the same type as well, as long as they don't share the same parameter ID. Okay, so we have triggered our event, but nobody has yet subscribed to it, so let's do that. Now, we go to our help bar class, and on the wake method, we're going to subscribe to this event. To that, we simply type EventManager subscribe to event. We pass the event ID on player took damage. Remember, IDs are game sensitive. And now we have to pass a method that will be called every time the event is triggered. And always remember to import the EventManager's namespace if your IDE doesn't automatically. So we're going to create this method. The method's name can be anything that you want. The really important part is that it returns nothing and receives a defined event object. We have our method declared now, so we pass that to the subscribe to event method, and there we go. The method on player took damage will now be called every time this event is triggered. If we ever want to unsubscribe the method to this event, we simply type EventManager unsubscribe to event, then the event ID, and then the method subscribe to it. Now, we get the parameter specifying the type and parameter ID by typing int damage equals find event get in parameter damage. As we said before, there are many types of parameters, so I'm going to show you how it is to get every parameter type. For boolean, it will be for int, it is the same as this damage parameter. For float, we simply type for a string it is for GameObject. And for custom it is a little different. You have to know the type you are receiving and specify it on the getter method. I'll give you some examples. A quaternion, a transform, and even the player itself. You can also get it as an object type and then cast it yourself. But I honestly recommend this way because it's easier and you save a line of code. Back to our case, now I'm going to put some code to change the slider value. I won't explain this part because it really doesn't matter for the purpose of this video. And there we have it. Let's go ahead and play the game to see if it's actually working. And yeah, we can see how the health bar updates whenever I'm getting hit. So that's all. As you can see, it's a pretty simple configuration and really little code to get anything working with the EventManager. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Twitter and Reddit, where I'll be posting every update of this editor extension and other interesting projects I'm working on. As always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!